Back now on a special edition of Triad today, spending the entire half hour with seven-term Mayor of Charlotte, Pat McCrory, GOP candidate for governor. Again, disclaimer in case you just joined us, Lieutenant Governor Beth Perdue refused to appear, and we went on without her. And as I said I would, and we did. Now, let's pick up with health care. 47 million Americans have no health care insurance. A lot who have health care insurance are struggling to make their premium payments. This is, I mean, that's not even calculated how many people are in trouble there. I saw a figure the other day, I think every 30 seconds somebody goes into bankruptcy because of healthcare costs, catastrophic illness. I don't want to pick on Blue Cross Blue Shield, but I guess they're a fair target because they're big and almost like a monopoly. What are you going to do as governor to try to come to grips with this and say, look, the insurance companies have got to work with us. They've got to come down on premiums. They can't deny people coverage. Should we go to universal coverage? What are you going to do?
First of all, we need to help form consortiums where small business people can join up with other small business people to reduce their premium rates, because many small businesses now are just not going to offer health insurance because of the high cost. We need to give tax credits to small businesses to allow them to give health insurance to their employees. And third, and Beverly Perdue strongly disagrees with me on this, but we require about, I think, 47 mandates for health insurance policies if you want to buy any health insurance in North Carolina. Now, these are special interest mandates. Some of them are very good
Give
mandates.
me an example of a bad one.
Well, for example, you are required to have a mandate if you want pastoral or pastors counseling or religious counseling. That may be good for you and for me, but give me the choice. Give me a menu of options among those 42 that I can select. And what's happening is we have a lot of young people, especially between the ages of 18 and 25, who go, I can't afford all those 47 mandates that are required. Why don't I select 25 of them? And let me make the choice, just like we do in our own health insurance plans, where I might not want eye care.
All right, or dental.
So I take it off, or dental care,
right,
or chiropractor care, or whatever. And the list is so long right now. And again, they're all good to have if you can afford them all. But for those who can't afford them all, let them select and at least have a minimum form of health insurance that applies to their age, that applies to their gender, that applies to their genetics and their family.
But people are getting coverage denied too, and all of a sudden they'll have paid their premiums and they find themselves with some catastrophic illness, and then they'll say, well, look, you've used up your maximum, sorry, you're on your own, you can go bankrupt. That just is not right in a society as rich and has as many resources. I'm sorry, I'm preaching.
Well, I think there should be an exception for catastrophic health insurance. Everyone needs to be covered by that. But listen, we do have some people who are not taking self-responsibility and buying any insurance whatsoever, even when they can afford it. And so they roll the dice and go, I'm not going to get hurt. Well, when they do get hurt, you and I end up paying the bill. And we have so many people that are getting their insurance through the emergency room.
So you would do what Mitt Romney was doing in Massachusetts and require everybody to get to?
I don't think I'd require everyone to get it, but I want to give incentives for everyone to do it, especially business to offer it. We're going to have one of two things happen in the next 8 years in government, both at the federal and state level. Either have government take it all, which I don't think they can handle, because look at the healthcare crisis with mental health in North Carolina.
Right.
It's a total debacle. In fact, in your own emergency room right here in Winston-Salem, my nephew's an emergency room doctor here. They have mental health care patients waiting 20, 30, 40, even 70 hours in the emergency room for a mental health care bed. And then often those people wait so long and they just go right out on the street.
And they leave.
They leave, and this is due to the horrible implementation by Governor Easley and, frankly, Lieutenant Governor Perdue of a mental health care system that is terribly broken.
So you want to reform that?
We definitely don't want to close Dorothea Dix Hospital.
No. But here's the last thing I want to get to before we take another break, and that is members of Congress get free health care, best health care in the world. And though most of them on the Republican side don't want little guys like me to have the same thing they have. That just seems a little bit disingenuous.
Well, frankly, we can't afford all of it anyway, and frankly, members of Congress ought to be paying more premiums for the health insurance they're receiving like we do in the private sector. And I'll be frank with you, right now, the health care for all government employees is underfunded by about $700 million next year. The governor and the lieutenant governor and others hid that issue. Whoever is the next governor is going to have to deal with a one-year, $700 million liability, but a decade-long, multi-billion-dollar liability where we promised more than we can afford. And you're going to end up paying for it, and so am I.
I'm already paying for it. I'm strapped already. I might not make it to the end of this show. All right, we'll be right back after.